So it's a little bit today about the sweat to success. We have invited 3 gym owners onto a panel. Unfortunately, Sean from 315 Health Club can't make it today. But I actually work for Sean at 315, so I will step in his position to share his story, which hopefully ignites a passion and allows you to get a little bit more involved. It will be a question and answer session, so if you've got any questions, please just jump in. But this session is a bit more of an organic, authentic, real life being a gym owner. I think it's sometimes really easy to see, and I know we've had these conversations, you can see on social media and even portrayed out in the public, you see the big brands, the smaller brands, rah, doing amazing, and actually, how did you get there? Is it all rainbows and sunshine, or what did you almost lose to get there, and what does it look like? So I just want to introduce Reece and Rob onto the panel, and do you want to just introduce yourselves and your gym?
Yep. Hi, my name's Rob. I'm from Your Gym. We started out 7 years ago with a site in Lytham, and that grew. Then we opened a different site in Kirkham, and we've grown across both. So we've got over 2,200 members across both the gyms at the moment, which are quite not massive facilities, quite small facilities, but we do a lot on the community side of things.
Thank you, bro. So I started as a PT on like a commercial gym floor, and then I haven't took any loans or investment. I'm not lucky enough in that sense. I'm massively cocked up. I went to prison for a bit, so I've had to redeem myself. But went into a part boot camp, and then took the boot camp indoors with a PT studio, opened a gym on a different site, which turned out to be a terrible idea. And then I've brought them together, and now, after 7 years of making a lot of mistakes, I'm actually making some money. And it's so much better when you're making money.
Yeah. I'll speak for Sean in regards to the 315. So Sean has always been in the industry, worked in sales. He's ran health clubs. He owned a brand called Easy Fitness, not EasyJet, just so everyone's very clear on that. And then basically we're from Lancaster, and we were driving down a motorway one day, and it's an old Total Fitness site. And he said, that's my power gym, that's what I'm going to invest everything into. So now we sit around 8,000 members, 1,500 of those are swimming lessons, but we are an independent gym, and I think it's really important to be able to show the dynamic difference as well from the smaller boutique gyms to the larger on an independent scale. So I've actually got some pictures of your gyms on the screen. So Reece, I think this was yours when you started out, is that correct?
Yeah, that's what first. That was the first unit. It was just it was a shed, I'm not going to lie to you. There was holes in the roof. We've all been there, we've had terrible landlords and that. So that was like how it started. It did all right, as you can see. Couldn't really moan.
Yeah, it's busy.
Yeah.
And then to where you are now?
And then, yeah, that's what it is now. So the boot camp, we've gone High Rocks affiliated. That's underneath the mezzanine. We put the mezzanine in. And then, obviously, we've got loads of machines on the mezzanine cells. And downstairs, as you can see, more like strength, powerlifting, and behind the picture is like a bit of a strongman area as well. So we've gone for more like a strength focused sort of style gym rather than a bodybuilding conventional gym, shall we say. But we only opened that a year ago. So, yeah, it's all right.
What does it say on the Live, Laugh, Love?
That's sort of our motto from Live, Laugh, Love, cross that out and put don't be a dickhead. And people take pictures out, put it on social media, so that's paid for itself, that has.
And then we've got Rob, which is your gym.
Yeah, that was the gym pre-build. So the left is obviously, we got the units 1 to 3, and it was just a shell. It was an old high wire building. So we added the mezzanine and built the first unit out, and it was we went very commercial. We dropped the ceilings, we put lights in, spotlights and things like that, and the rig room on the right, very bright, very green, sled tracks either side.
To what you look like now.
To what we look like now. Yeah. So then we got the next 2 units. So on the right picture at the top, where you see there's like kind of the wall ends, and it goes through. That's the X2 unit. So you can see where the walls dropped, the ceilings dropped, and then we've actually, we stripped everything back, put some cool LEDs in, and then we've got 4 studios in the Lytham site, and then the bottom 2 pictures of the Kirkham site, the free weights area, and the studio at the bottom there. So we weren't very much we learned a lot of lessons, when we first opened the gym. We spent a lot of money on the feel, when actually if you paint a few walls black and drop a few lights in there, then it looks just as good, and it's Instagrammable, like you said. The stuff that you put on, people want to see. So you can just see it on that far right picture. We had a big LED which cost us far too much money with a Y 2.0, so it's like your gym 2.0, and all those little ring lights we put on. We got the idea from one rebel, and now we never even turn it on. So, it's saving electricity at the end of the day. But you make like you said, you make a lot of mistakes to kind of get to what works.
Yeah. So you got 3 on 5. So this is a shell when Sean bought it. As you can see the pool there. We do have 3 pools. They're slightly different to you guys. We have got the wet side facilities. It's an all total fitness site. As you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, your old sales office, and we built a mezz floor on to what it looks like now. So the 3 pools. We've got on the top right the boutique hit studio, so the sweat studio we call that. Downstairs, obviously the lounge. So that was just done, just September, just gone. So National Fitness Day, we tend to do big launches. And the recovery beds as well, so you can see the difference, I guess. But where did it all start, I guess, for you two? Where did the idea come from? Have you always been in the industry? What made you think, oh, I'm going to go open a gym? Start Reece?
I'll be completely honest. I left the army and I went straight to prison. And when I came out, I just spent 2 years inside just training. So that's all I knew was just to train. And so when I came out, I really enjoyed training other people inside. So I thought, let's try and monetize that. And it turns out I really enjoyed buying gym equipment. So then I've just kept doing that. And I've got equipment coming from China and America. They're on containers now. And I'll just keep plodding along like that, really.
And did you come out and go into more of like a class focus or a one-to-one, or was a passion just anywhere within the industry?
Obviously went to a commercial gym, went on the PT floor, learned a lot of lessons there. Nobody tells you how to do marketing, sales, that sort of stuff. And then I just ended up randomly taking over someone's boot camp in a park and enjoyed that more than PTs. So that's when I took it inside and we just kept ploughing on. That's literally it, just kept moving forward. What
was that deciding factor from going from the boot camps, like on the park, to I'm going to go buy a building?
Honestly, winter. No, nobody wants to come and train outside in the winter, except for a couple of nutters. But the couple of nutters ain't enough to pay those bills, so I needed indoor nutters in the winter. So that's literally it, just purely on a money side.
And you just found a facility and thought that's the one and went for it, as simple as that?
Literally that, found the cheapest one, because obviously it's about keeping the overheads low. Like I said, there are holes in the roof, but it's sort of added to the character. And I just sort of said to people, I went, look, it's the best of indoor and outdoor here. So, you know what I mean? Just depends how you put a spin on things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Depends on how people look at things. And somehow I've blagged it for 7 years, so I can't moan.
What about yourself, Rob? Where was that transition period for you?
So when I used to work in hotels as group support manager, so they would send me into gyms which weren't doing very well. And then when we met our main director, Andrew, he was a member of 5 different gyms, and he ended up saying, I can't get a full workout in any of these local gyms. And Andrew had other businesses, and he was like, I really want to open a gym. Could you give me a bit of advice? Because I knew him from when we were growing up. And then we kind of seen the scale of what we could achieve, because I had managed a lot of gyms that were very commercially owned and they were very corporate, and it was one way or the highway. So I was very frustrated with what I was doing, being able, because we were getting feedback from members all the time, and I was like, you are right in what you are saying, this would improve the gym and that would improve the gym. However, when you were going up and you were putting requests in for kit and you're putting requests in for different things, we weren't able to do it. So I said to Andrew, I said, he wanted to open like a gym with loads of different bodybuilding kit. I said, what about if we do a gym that's purely focused on what people want and call it your gym? So you can come in and your voice matters and everything comes in. And Andrew came up with, we both came up with the idea of having a gym that's really community and really responsive. So if something's not working, or if people want extra kit, or they want kit traded out, we'll do our best. And we kind of grew from there. So when we opened the first gym, we grew up to 800 members in about a year. And we're doing the forecast of like, we'll break even in a couple of years. And it was like 4 months in and we were like, oh, wow, we're onto something. Yeah. And then the next units came up and we were like, right, we'll take them. And that was 2019, and then COVID hit. So everything got closed down, and then it's kind of been a bit of a rebuild after. But doing that thing, because sometimes you get into the industry because you love training and you love PTing and you do that thing. And then, like you said at the beginning, it comes really hard because overheads rock up and things like that, but able to do something what you love, and be that interactive all the time. You know, at the end of the month, you know, what was our class percentages? Well, going out to the members and going, what would you like to see instead? And whatever they would tell us, we would then panel out or do a Facebook Live on our group and be like, you know, a few of you said this, and the comments would be coming in and would be really interactive with it, and that's how we grew. What
was the one thing when you had this business idea, you had your name, you had your facility, what was the one launch strategy that you were like, that's what I'm going for? Because I know as us at 315, we did a big pre-sale. So big hype around we did a spinner farm, which Sarah was part of, who's here, we live on a beautiful seaside location, so we're on the seaside location, we're even on the side of a cycle path one day, all we spin back, so we just kind of really put ourselves forward. I did a big pre-sale and related it to our names. It's 315 Health Club. We did an annual for £315. Obviously, it brought people in. What was your one launch strategy that anyone that's thinking about doing a gym or opening a gym could take away?
Like you said, getting your name out there and being in front of everybody is definitely key, because we went to every local event, we went into every shop, we spent the time canvassing and speaking to people. It's very important to go in and speak to all the shop owners, and one of the things that I wish we'd done straight away, which we've done now, is we do a perk scheme. So we've gone into all the local businesses and said, if you offer our members something, we can offer your customers or your staff a discounted rate on a corporate rate.
Like a rewards scheme.
Exactly that, yeah. And the take up on that has been incredible. We've got loads, haven't we, of people we go into local restaurants and we say, if you can give our members 10% off on your quiet days, we can give your customers certain time, like guest passes or this, that and the other, or your staff corporate rate, and it just flies and it gets your name out there, and the more people see. But we went in with the fact, you know, are you frustrated at your own gym at the moment? You know, come to us and we can kind of help. But the community thing is huge.
Is that something you would have done differently then? First off, go out to those local businesses around you, supporting local.
Oh, 100%. And just getting the name out there. I think a lot of people stay digital with the marketing, but I think people buy people at the end of the day.
And we're a face-to-face world, we're a face-to-face industry, aren't we? I think people tend to forget that a little bit. What about yourself, Reece? Sorry, did you have a question? Yeah.
Did you say your MD was a member of 5 different gyms?
Yes.
So when you say he couldn't do what he needed to do, is that because they were too busy or they just didn't have the equipment?
It was a little bit of both. Some of the gyms didn't. He was a big fan of his functional and plate loaded training, and a lot of them didn't have the mix of kit that he wanted. Some of them weren't. Where we are, we were talking about this on the way up. Where we are, we have a lot of. We have like one big monopolised gym, Ribby Hall, which is far too busy. We have a few council gyms that don't reinvest and are a little bit busy. Then we have a lot of little gyms. So he would go to some like bodybuilding gyms for the kit, but then he would go to some other places, and he was like, I just want a place where I can go all the time and do what I need to do, not buy everything. You know, we didn't spend thousands and thousands of pounds, but it was getting little bits of kit here and there that would give the complete workout and then grow with the membership base. You know, when you get more people in, this gym's really good, but you could do with that. And if we heard it more, that's what we would benefit from.
What would you do, Reece? And obviously, on your launch, you kind of had that transition of customers already, so I guess you weren't new to the marketplace.
No.
Did you find all those customers transitioned over with you to the gym, and how did you get the new clients?
If I'm completely honest, what I'd do is stop telling myself not to do it. So I'm sure we've all done it, like put on an event, no, don't do that. Or go and speak to a business, no, I can't do it. I probably spent about 4 years stopping myself, if I'm completely honest, and put it down to scaredom, newness, whatever you want to put it down to. But if I could do my time again, I would stop stopping myself do things, if that makes sense. Like we're putting on powerlifting events, strongman events, and on the day, for instance, we're doing a powerlifting event on Sunday. Now, on the day, I don't think we're going to make that much money, but I've had a rough calculation, and we've had about 400 day passes because of that event, because people want to come and see it beforehand. As daft as we're 750 a day, times that by 400, that's 750s. It's now a lot, and they buy a Monster, they buy a bottle of water, and if we say they've all added 250 to their thing, that's $4,000 in 3 months I didn't have before. So, I'd stop holding myself back, if I'm completely honest.
I think a lot of independent gyms, especially when you're starting up, are almost scared to fail. And obviously, we all know that you learn your best lessons by failing. I've got a really good motto, and it is just say yes and then work out how. And it's kind of something that doesn't always work, but it's a good motto. Just say yes and work out how. And if it's meant to be, it will. And if you want it enough, it will happen. So going back to like the atmosphere of your clubs, when you had an idea of setting up retention, the customer experience, all around the atmosphere, the pictures, was that the vision that you had? What sort of atmosphere, culture did you want to create when you opened?
For me, it was I love discipline. I'm a bit of a weirdo like that. I love discipline. I like things being in the right place and stuff like that. So our gym there's 17 gyms. So if you were to put a pin on our gym and within 4 miles the crow goes, 17 and another 2 are opening.
Wow.
So we've got big competition, but we're the only gym that no matter what time you come in, the weights are away. That it's just simple rules like the tops have got to be on when you're training. Like we do have a place for them to take the tops off if they want, but as daft as it sounds, I truly believe keeping a bit of a discipline about your gym is what's made us stand out. And don't get me wrong, we're fun as well. Don't get me wrong, you don't come in and stand to attention. I don't mean like that, but I mean, it's just having respect for each other. Like the amount of times we hear people say, I went to this gym and this person wasn't respectful of the kit or the manager or staff. And we just keep it respectful to everyone, staff, members, the kit. And that's how we've grown, anyway.
By those standards, yeah.
Yep. What was the question again?
So
I was engulfed in that answer. I was like, love that.
The culture and the atmosphere, was it the vision that you set, and is that what aids you?
Oh, 100%, yeah. We're very community orientated, so we have class timetable. In Lytham, we've got over 90 classes a week. In Kirkham now, I think we're over 50 a week. And it is just community. Each little class type has a community. So even if it's from some of our sweat and our Metcon classes all the way to high rocks, all the way to yoga and Pilates, like you don't want to piss those members off. Yeah. Like they have their community and they go out and we were speaking obviously before about WhatsApp groups and things like that. Like the wellness community have their own WhatsApp group and they chat about things, and it's like a community within a community, and it kind of grows itself then, because you can get out and everyone, they'll keep coming, they will speak to everyone and get their point across of what they want, and actually then it's like their second home, and that's what you want it to be for people. And with mental health and it being a safe space, that is exactly what you want. It's discipline, but at the same time it's got the night, it's got the feel of I can go in, I can just switch off for an hour, and I can come in and I can come back again. And people,
like the third space, that person's
exactly
third space.
like that. Yeah.
I think as the 315, we're a large facility. When we opened, the vision was to be one big close-knit community, and it started off really well as we grew, and then we started getting almost like a clique, I guess, would be in the club, and that almost hindered our growth. It was something we called it the Academy, and it was great. It did the job. It had 50 people in it, and it was fantastic, like small groups, personal training. But then that become a clique. So then to get new people into that become really challenging. We had to almost break down that community a little bit, which just goes completely against what you want to do in your facility. We had to break down that community and decide how do we move forward. That was a massive hurdle for us to overcome. How do we create community within this large facility when actually not everyone might want to be part of that community? And we kind of went to the class timetable, and that became its own little community. We went to a small group strength training, and that became a community. We went to like your aqua ladies, that became a community. We started something called Young at Heart, which is our over 55 program, that became a community. And we almost sectioned our gym into separate communities. So when someone says, what's your target market? For us, it's everybody, because we do cover from young to old. But I think sometimes having a community, I don't know if anyone's experienced that, can almost hinder the growth a little bit. Yeah. Have you had any problems within that, and how have you kind of overcome them?
We had the same. We had when we first opened our Kirkham site, we had a lot of the people who did classes who went to Kirkham just for the classes because we made a bigger studio, and then the new people would come in. Oh, we don't want to train with new people. Yeah. And then we had a bit of a split where one of the trainers left and opened their own studio, and they took that group of people with them, and the director was, oh my God, we've lost like 100 people. And I was like, that is the best thing that could have happened to this gym right now, because it's going to allow for new people to come in and grow with each other and not have this mentality that we've trained together for years, so who are you kind of thing. And I see it now, like that gym's got those 100 members and maybe a few more, and we're flying with our membership because we've opened loads of different avenues and we've had to do the same thing.
Would you put that down to the people who are in that community, or was that the culture that as a business with the staff that you kind of created?
I think it's a mixture of both. Some of the people, but the staff, very much went out and socialised with those people as well. Yeah. So, having our staff reined in a little bit and working for the gym to make sure that everybody's got an equal opportunity to get onto the class that they want and have the progression or regression of that class tailored to them, engulfs them in that part of the community as well.
Yeah. What about yourself, Reece?
So for me, it was a hindrance when I first took over a boot camp. As daft as it sounds, it was about 30, and within 2 weeks it went down to 12. So not to sound the caveat, but there was the pretty girls, and basically the instructor did whatever session they wanted. But from day one, I treat everyone the same. It doesn't matter who they are, and I've still done that. And whenever because unfortunately within a community, things happen personal things happen. I'm sure we've all experienced, and then somebody likes to leave and throw a grenade in on the way out. But whenever that's happened, I've thought, bloody, I'm going to lose 20 members here. I'm going to lose that class, and actually I haven't. That person's left, and because everyone knows that I treat everyone the same, they know that person, for whatever reason, lost their head. So when I first took over, that community was a hindrance. But I truly believe it starts at the top. You treat everyone the same, the staff and obviously the staff like staff and the visitors like visit, but that will then level itself out, as daft as it sounds. And if things happen amongst them, that's fine, they can deal with that. But treat everyone the same, and it will be all right. That's all I can say.
You always find as well, don't you, that people come back. You know, if people do leave with that person, if you stay the same and you keep operating the same, being as fair as possible, people will just gravitate back towards you, because everyone changes something sometime, don't they? Like the grass is always a little bit greener, and that actually, I enjoyed it there because of the consistency in the routine. And I think, like you said there, they do actually, someone happened to us at Kirkham, they leave and they take someone with them and they just chuck that grenade in and gone, your community's not as good as ours, I'm going to open over here. And they've opened, and a few people have gone, but it's allowed space for other people to come in. So I think
obviously that's a massive hurdle in being independent, because you want to keep those people close, but then they're still clients, aren't they? Another big hurdle I think we found, and we've completely changed our mindset of how we look at competition now. But in the first, 5 to 6 years, we really viewed competition as competition, and we almost we were bigger, and the only competition we really had was a big university campus that had the same sort of facilities as us, and a council run. But then you had small boutiques popping up and PT studios, and we almost panicked a little bit, and we'll admit that, we went into panic zone, and we're like, we're not doing small group, let's do it because them down the road are doing it, or let's go and get that piece of equipment because they're doing it. And I think that we weren't true to ourselves by doing that. So we've really had to change the mindset of not just the managers, but also the staff, and be like, do you know what, we are who we are for us. And now we don't even look at competition like it's health. Like, we love health competition. I do think health competition is fantastic in this industry, and there's enough people to go around. But have you ever come across any hurdles like that a little bit? Or what if not, what was the biggest hurdle, or still is the biggest hurdle for you?
So like I said, I've got by the end of summer I have 19 gyms, including me, to fight against. So for me at the beginning, same as you, somebody would open, or there is a competition, and you get drawn into them, don't you? You think, they've got that bit of kit, I want it. They look like they're doing well, and I'm not busy at this time. And so you do get drawn in. I've learned, just take a step back. They're on their path and you're on yours. And I promise you, the path does work out. If I can do it, your path will change. You just don't get focused on them. And if you've got a weakness, I'll be honest, my weakness is I'm a bit of a dick. So, for instance, there was a High Rocks gym opened up down the road, and Rob will back me up on this. I messaged Rob and I went, that's shit, that is. And Rob messaged me back going, well, do a better job then. So I did. And now it's doing really well. So, in that case, it was a benefit. But I would just say, if you've got your path, stick to it and don't get drawn. Because I was comparing myself to Pure Gym at one point. And why am I doing that? You know what I mean? They charge half than less than me. The kit is completely different to me. The community's not there. They don't do the classes we do. So why I'm there at 10 o'clock at night not sleeping because Pure Gym have given a day free pass to people, I don't know. And it's really hard, isn't it? Because you look at your Pure Gyms and your David Lloyds and your bigger facilities who have the money, and if they want the brand new kit, they can go and buy the brand new kit, or they want to go and get the staff training, they can go and get it. As independents, that pot of money isn't always there, and it probably never really is there, is it, as an independent gym? So it's really easy to compare yourself to those with a complete different scale.
Because financially struggle, that obviously can be a struggle.
Yep.
Do you still find that, or have you been able to overcome that quite well with the culture and engagement that you've created?
Luckily, because our community is quite strong, so funny like yours, literally last week, another PT announced on social media he's actually opening a replica of my, that's one of the gyms that's opening. He's replicating my gym. I do High Rocks Bootcamp PT group, he's doing High Rocks Bootcamp, and he's a mile and a half down the road. So, as you can imagine, that didn't go too well. He had quite a big PT base, and as you can imagine, I thought, that's going. I'm going to lose that lot. And I didn't. I lost 4, which I think we can all live with losing 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Again, don't get wrapped up in somebody else. I lost sleep. I'm not going to lie. I thought, shit. But it never happened. I've lost 4, which isn't the end of the world, is it?
I think, yeah, they're very similar. Biggest stumbling block is obviously you lose sight of yourself, but I think it's just not to take things personally in that respect. You know, when other things open up, people want to succeed as well. People are going to naturally want to do that. We would get drawn in, and this person's doing that. And I used to say to Andrew all the time, he would be on their Instagram sending me some stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, I know, I totally get it. Like, it's annoying, but let's just stick to doing what we do, and we've naturally, organically grown. But another big hurdle for us is obviously Andrew, our director, he put a lot of money in at the start, and then that was it. And you know, when the capex is gone, we would have to then start reinvesting, and we're lucky enough that all the money that we've spent we've reinvested back into the gym, but it's keeping up with then the demand of the members. Oh, we haven't done anything new for a while, you haven't done this for a while, or what are you doing next? And it's like, actually, we're just holding down. I was in the gym last night, and Andrew came in, and he loves teaching classes, so he came out and taught a class, and one of the big lads stopped him. This big lad's like, well, Mr. Universe and all this kind of stuff. He's like, I thought you were getting a belt squat. And Andrew was like, I'll go look around. And he's sending me pictures of these belt squats at night, and I'm like, you don't need to get one. Like, one person's asked for that belt squat, and he's like, well, we could, you know, the membership's doing all right. We could put that money there. And I was like, just make some money. You know, you'd be fine. You know, it's that member expectation. You know, once you do a few things, it's, you know, tell them, but be clear about the plan. If our plan is we're going to reinvest in one place, we're going to put it in our budget, we're going to reinvest in one part of the gym per year, let's be honest and truthful with that. We don't need to continue to buy little bits of kit here and there.
You get sucked into it. I know we sometimes still do, I guess, a little bit, and it's probably just bad habits, but you can get sucked into over-promising because you said you're caught off guard. It could be like your favourite member who's been there since day one, and we're like, oh, we just need some more mats. Yeah, I'll get them. Knowing fully well that wasn't in the budget, it wasn't part of the plan. Actually, let's just stay to the plan. We've got a good sales campaign, I guess. Now we tend to go, May's our birthday, and then September we really capitalise on National Fitness Day. So it's a big launch day for us. We sign up over 250 members on the day and cover our expenditure for the month on that one day. So we kind of know, and our members almost know that come September something big's going to happen. So for this year we're bringing reformer beds. We're doing our mind and body studio. Because I guess you've seen that as well, how popular those classes are. So we're staying with the trends, but the members know actually it'll happen after National Fitness Day, and that'll be the launch, and the same will come again in May. And it's almost like managing their expectations, isn't it? While still having to put price increase up, because obviously for us, our bills, and Sean would not mind me saying this at all, but our bills come to 250k a month. So just to be able to cover that, you can imagine what we have to be able to pay everything. And I think sometimes as an independent, especially on our, I only speak for myself here, because on our scale, members expect so much. But yeah, do you have any sort of days or months in the year that you really go hard in for your sales?
I think we phase our sales plan every few months, so obviously everyone expects January, September to be massive in the gym industry. Well, you'll be busy next month, don't worry about that, or look at you flying this month. I mean, I was like mental breakdown at the end of January with how busy it is.
Did you find January was still busy this year?
It was quiet at the start, and then I always know that the third, fourth week of January, that's when it starts to hot up. But the end of January just went mad for some reason. I think everyone had spent all their money at Christmas, and then at the beginning of January, we're like, oh shit, I can't really afford a gym at the moment. Yeah. So then the end of the month when they got paid again, it was like influx central. But we used to, with marketing, throw enough at the wall, see what stuck, and went with it. But the perk scheme has been massive for us, you know.
I've never lost anyone off a price right yet. So that's how we tackle it. But we're also, and we still will be, we're the for classes, we're the second most expensive in the area, and for high rocks. And then for just the gym, we're the third most expensive in the area. So one thing I always say to people, or other gym owners when I'm talking to, I'd just say, put your price up. Because this is going to sound brutal, but I'm going to say, you don't want cheap people. They take the most amount of effort. They sap your time. And also, without being honest, as soon as there is some sort of financial crisis, they'll dump you rapid. Whereas you want to draw the people in with money, as brutal as that sounds.
Yeah, exactly the same. I think we've put our prices up after COVID, which during COVID, we put everyone's price down and said, if you can support us and pay less of a rate, we'll do as much as we can online. And we ended up doing over 1,000 classes online. So we bought like a Facebook portal, and we give it to 3 of the PTs would pass it to each other. They'd sanitize it, obviously. Yeah. But we would kind of do those classes, and we did over 1,000 classes for the community, you know, and we didn't have that support as independents. We came to look at your facility, didn't we? And then we went to, which is phenomenal, by the way, and we went to then the council-run facility locally, and I was looking around, and I was like, you've got so much kit that's not used. And he said, when we came out of COVID, there was loads of grants, so we just took them all and bought loads of kit. And I was like, well, we didn't get those. They were like, the council were chucking money at us. And I was thinking, are you taking the piss here?
The GM from that said local gym just joined our gym.
Oh, really?
On a 2-year deal.
Oh, wow.
So that summarises what she did to know.
Yeah. Well, honestly, when you go to an independent gym, it's passionate. And we spoke to you, and the passion comes through in what you do. You love what you do, and you know it's your livelihood. When you go to those people just want to get paid and go home.
I wouldn't even let you through the door. So Rob reached out through Les Mills, didn't you?
Yeah,
There for Les Mills, and I was like, no, they can't just turn up. Like, here, you got to book in for a tour. Like that's our member experience. That's our member journey. And you guys kind of rocked up, and I was like, come on, let's go on a tour. You don't get that, do you, at council? No. You almost can just go in and do what you want. And I was like, no, I'll show you how we would sell it to a membership, and it's just a different experience. Yeah. And like you said, the passion comes through more, and
that passion, then people know that they're not going to get that if they join especially a local council. And some of the other places, when they're 24-hour or they're small community group training, I think when we put our prices up, it's like you kind of almost have to justify it. We're putting your prices up, but we are doing X, Y, and Z. And we did it straight after COVID, and then we did it. Late last year, I think, after Kirkham had been open for a year, we put our prices up, and we were very transparent. It was an introductory offer to open the gym, and now we want to continue reinvesting in the gym. But obviously, as an independent business, we've got to strive to be the best all the time, and this is why the price will reflect that. We're quite strategic in, like you said, you do get the members that you don't want. We have a lot of students, and we did our student rate really low. So that student rate I put up the most, because students would hog the kit, they'd take the piss out of it, they wouldn't respect it, and they would leave their weights lying around. Do you already? The weights are, the weights would be everywhere. And actually with the students, I think we put them up the most, and they were like, well, we're all students. I was like, well, at the end of the day, you're the ones that the staff spend telling to put the weights back, not training groups, stop messing around, we're in the changing rooms with their tops off, comparing arms and stuff like that. And actually, we appeal to everyone. You don't want to walk into the changing rooms, big groups of lads and stuff like that. I've got CCTV, it sits in my office, and I sit up there, and I was watching one of the students got in the ice bath vaping. And I kind of looked, and I thought to myself,
your price going right up.
Well, he went out. His price went to 0 because he wasn't a member. But I was kind of thinking, they don't care. They don't respect your kit. So it's strategic in your price rise. If you've got your good members that pay the rate and you want to keep them, it's like, listen, you've been here for ages. Your loyalty is it'll freeze or it'll go up only not as much as this rate kind of thing.
And I think when you're doing a price increase, it's all about how you portray that to the staff. We just did quite a big hike up. We still had some of our members who are 11 years old now. We had some members still on the pre-sale price, just because I think we were almost just a little bit too scared. And isn't that ridiculous that you're too scared to justify, like, we're amazing club, and we're like, so, but it was almost how you portray it to the staff, and if your staff are bought in, it makes it so much easier. So we had a big team training, big team day, and actually we went in and we're like, right, the price is going to go up to £69 a month, and that's, we've got 2 tiers now, I've introduced 2, but the lowest one is £69, and all the staff were like, yeah, great, of course. And I think we were all like, oh, we were expecting a bit of a comeback there, and they're like completely worth it. So I think as well, if you don't have the staff buy-in and believe in you as a business, that really doesn't help when you try and justify your price increase at all. If you were to go again and start from scratch, what would you change?
Oh God.
Question as well.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you good.
I don't know actually. Like I said, I'd stop on that, but you know what? Actually, I'd get a bigger unit because
From day one.
From day one, we all like to hold back, don't we? And a bit like I hold back. And I took that unit was perfect for classes. It was 2,500 square foot. I then took on a 3,000 square foot, and genuinely, I put the first squat rack in there, only one, and I just looked at it and went, shit. It wasn't big enough. Straight away, it wasn't big enough. So I'd probably say go a bit riskier. If there's a 5,000 square foot and a 7, go for the 7. Yeah, and just go a bit more balls deep. I'm really, in a way, I wish I had some loans. Now I'm here, maybe it would have sped me up, but I've got no debts on my business and it feels great. I know there's other gyms that have still got the bounce back loans or investors or whatever, and it can accelerate your business, but
we are in that position as well. So we are a big we are a big club, and we do fantastic, but we are still every month still paying back.
Yeah. And I just got to say it's lovely. Pay rent, pay staff, pay a couple of other bills, and then that's it. It's pretty chilled. So yeah, I'd go bigger and bolder. That's what I'd say.
That's your advice.
Passing it to me, it's bolder. Yeah, no. Sorry, the question.
What would you change if you were to do it all again? Start from scratch again. What would you do differently?
Do you know what? It's really hard to say, isn't it? Because hindsight is like a really wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I would get a unit with not as many walls and have like more of an open gym and bigger studios, because we went for like niche small studios in Lytham, and when we opened Kirkham, we were like one big studio, one class time. So the only hindrance is there. You get people loving the big classes, but then some people don't want that. So it's effectively who you cater for is how you should aim your facility, really. A lot of the stuff we do. One of the guys laughed at us because we just opened a coffee bar with a guy who runs coffee, and we've gone in with him to do the coffee. He said, "Is this how you always do it?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, you just say, I want that wall black, I want this there, and crack on to the builders." He's like, "No designs, no nothing." And I was like, the design artists are starting at £2,000, put pen to paper. I'm like, you literally don't need that. If you have a vision, see what it looks like, and just do it. And you know what? If it goes wrong, you can change it. So. And
that's the best thing I think about having like all the independents together. Sometimes if you're not part of a group like this, you think you've got to go and get those CAD designs and get X, Y, and Z, when actually you can just do it yourself. And if you're authentic to it and believe in it, it will happen.
Yeah, and do you know what? When you said about local and stuff like that, it's hard to. You've always got like half an eye on the competition. But you always don't want to share trade secrets, do you? Because with those people especially, it's like, well, they're going to tell what I did and do it there. Yeah. But to have this group and be able to reach out to you up the road, an hour up the road, but to be able to reach out to you guys in the group or just put something on, like it's summer, where's the best air conditioning, or, PPL music license, which everyone hates, what are people doing about that? Having that kind of support network, it's invaluable, isn't it?
Has anyone got any questions about... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're catering to like the whole population, right? I mean, it's great when you can have like a niche boutique studio with lots of offerings and everything. But when you're like looking at the whole population, how do you maintain your focus as an independent? Because you don't have all that cash to put into like all these different pots.
Yeah.
And sometimes I find it really overwhelming because I'm like, okay, today do I spend my time on marketing, paid, social? Do I spend my time on customer service? Do I spend my... And I feel like I spend a lot of time doing a lot of little things, and I'm not necessarily building the things. And then you go in and the staff is like, where's that? And you're like, that's an excellent question.
Yeah.
So how do you maintain your focus so that you're actually building and then bringing people in and creating that demand?
I think my biggest advice would be focus on the member journey. If you get the member journey right, they will go and tell their friends. So many gyms can go and focus on the lead generation, and that's fantastic. You need the leads, of course you need the leads through the door, but you can pay for your social media campaigns, you can go out and hand as many leaflets as you want. If those people when they come in aren't getting what they were expecting or what you've promised, it's never going to work. So really focus on your member journey. So for us, someone comes through a door, They're told they're signed up, they get a consultation, and that's talking about their goals. We do use a scanner, which we're looking around for a new one, but we have that consultation. We then take them to the gym floor and express where's your interest at. Let's go and help you, or where are you more nervous about going? So as a female, if you don't want to go into the free weights, let me take you in there. So you're more comfortable to come in and really focus on that member journey. So we do something called we call them courtesy calls, but we're non-user calls. So we'll just run a report. If we've not seen somebody in 2 weeks, we'll just give them a call. Hey, just making sure you're okay, you've been away, anything we can help with. We do welcome calls, leavers calls, cancellation. We just make sure we're really in tune with our members, and then from that you'll find out what classes are popular, what they're wanting. Yeah. Pardon?
Like, you guys have a lot of members. This is not like, you're not like a...
No, yeah, a lot of members, yeah.
Studio, right? Like, you've got thousands.
Yeah.
So how are you efficiently getting people through the door and creating all these personal touches?
So we're really looking at the moment at lead generation. We don't tend to have to go out anymore. Back in the day we went out and really publicised. We focus more on our members now, and they're raving fans. So we literally make our members become raving fans. So they'll go out and tell their employees, their brothers, sisters, and next door neighbours all about us. We've just got it. We just created a culture within the club, and I think that is a massive one. Yeah.
And we do offers with that. So we just had one in June. So our birthdays in June, we've had an influx of new members because we do a big event. Those new members, we then promote our referral program because they've now been there a month. Oh, really enjoy it. I'm going to tell my friends and I get £10 off the membership. So we follow all our big events up with the referrals.
So it's almost like it's automated over email and...
It's automated, but a lot of it is people, and I think we've really homed in on that as a club, that it is the people and it is the staff that do the welcome calls. We don't go on. We've had call centres approach us. We'll do your calls. No, it's us. It's Katie from reception ringing that you might have met on your tour, and we just make sure it's really personable, and it's just getting the right staff, and the induction process for your staff is crucial, I think, in independent. I know you don't have many staff, do you, Reece?
No,
we have around 50 to 60 employed staff. And that induction process is so crucial for us as an independent. If that's not right, the rest of that journey won't happen. So yeah, your member journey is key. Are they engaged in classes? Are they engaged with instructors? Do they know someone's name? Do we know their name? And it's just that touch point. Are they getting free touch points every time they come in? A hello, goodbye, and a hello when we're upstairs. Does that help answer?
I think as well, empowering your staff, if you're struggling on the little bits and you're trying to grow each demographic, empower your staff to like set them targets and review them weekly with them. So if you've got different parts of the market, and like we've got like we call our over 50 our forever fit. So yeah. We empower people to grow that area, and we go back to them and go, what are you struggling with? What do you need help with? Right, go again. And if the people don't want to do that for you, they shouldn't really be working in your business. If they're just coming in to get a paycheck and go home, they're not passionate about what they're doing. But if they really, we've just started 6-week challenges, and the guy who's doing it loves it because he used to work for us, and then he went to a Transform Hub, and then he came back, and he loves the 6-week challenge, the aspect of it. And he was like, so I leave him to do those kind of things, check back in with me, and then the plates will spin themselves if you're worrying about, and then you can focus on the bigger picture, and you can look at what actually comes in and out and focus on what you want to drive in and what you want to restrict from going out. That's
I guess
what
it ties in with, as a gym owner or as a manager, sometimes because you're so passionate about it, it's really hard to delegate and to pass on that responsibility to somebody else. So just be comfortable with delegating. But
and if they get it wrong,
people,
they're going to get it wrong, and they're going to do it again.
Do you have any staff?
No.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. So
Just say that quickly. I'm sorry, that was terrible. We're working on actually changing the step.
Yeah.
And the onboarding journey.
Yeah.
And all the other bits. But that's why, I feel like there's just so many layers to it.
Yeah.
That it's getting which lever to pull first to get it all going, because we do have people who have potential, but then they need that little bit of a push, right? You can't just be like...
Well, I've learned with
that
staff,
day.
giving them responsibility, they actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I've been giving, and there's lots of things I don't even do in my business anymore. So they do it for me because you giving them that trust, they feel good for it. They do feel good for it, but I don't give it all on day one. So I now trust you. So Toby, he's 18, but I think he's going to do really well. So on day one, it was like low-level jobs, and I'm doing them with him. And now we're nearly a year later, and he's doing things with the members and doing things with the membership software and stuff like that. And every time I give it him, I do the card, I trust you now, Toby. Here's a little bit more. And sometimes you don't even have to pay them more. They just, if you nurture them they enjoy the fact that you just trust them.
Yeah.
My question was, you said about your gym, sort of, it was a case of you wanted a gym that kind of what everyone wanted, which I love that idea, which is really cool. But like, how do you communicate that within all your members as well? How do you make, okay, I'm hearing this, I'm going to go with this, not that? Is it purely just down to that's 60%, that's 40%, they win, or is it a case of what the bigger picture looks like?
Is it wrong to say a little bit of both? Because you have people who come and use you for different things. So if the spin people want more performance classes, then that's like an easy win. You know, I always think that we do like a you said, we did. So at the end of the month, it's like you said this, we did that. And some of the people, we will say you said this and we didn't manage to do that yet, but it is in the longer run for us. And to be honest, we aren't sometimes scared of saying, actually, you came up with that as one woman, she comes in, I want to do this class at this time, this class at this time, and this class then, and I want to do them all back to back. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, that just isn't possible at the moment, but how have you tried? You know, it's that synergistic thinking, isn't it? It's like, you want this and we've got this, but together can we come to something a little bit in the middle and then see what we can do later on for you?
Sorry, last question. What did you find the best way of communicating with them? You know, when you said you've got 2,500 members across 2 stations, I appreciate it, but how do you find the best way of communicating or getting them to communicate with you? So, obviously there's face-to-face, there's emails, there's complaints, there's suggestions.
We have Facebook groups. We have a big Facebook group for Kirkham, a big Facebook group for Lytham. They're pretty much, I'd say pretty much 70% of our members are in each group. So, you know, the vast majority, we do emails, and we want to give people as many opportunities to talk to us as possible. So,
and you just get all those.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is on polls.
Yeah. You talk between the 3-4 of the owners of the.
Yep.
And then just discuss what's appropriate, what's not.
The other thing, like you said about delegating, it's really hard. I've had to get myself a personal phone because I open my Facebook for everyone to message me, and boy, do they message. You know, well, hi Rob, I'm going out with Tom, and he said that you'd be able to get me a rate doing this if I can do that. And it's kind of like, well, you know, you keep it open and give them as much opportunity to talk to you as possible. And then I kind of treat my social media, Facebook, as like my inbox. And then, you know, if I've got put through to this person and that person, and then you walk through the gym with your bag on your shoulder at 8 o'clock in the morning. Did you get my... Yeah, I've got it. I'll speak to you in a bit. And it's that kind of, you know, making everyone feel like they've got that. And if the answer's no, it's not no forever. It's no right now, but we're working on this at the moment. Have you tried this because you'd actually really like it? And having enough facets to your business to be able to offer them. Like everyone's got their own like lane kind of thing. So that's important, yeah.
Amazing. I think we could talk all day, I think, really. We are around all day, though, so if you want to ask any questions or anything, please do. But thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.